So the other way to look at contour plots of things is to use this tool, which is also for plot contours on deformed shapes and so on. You can, of course, also hold it down and it will plot the deformed shape on the, plot the contour on the undeformed shape. And you can look at both the deformed and undeformed shapes at the same time using this tool. Typically, since this is an elastic problem, we're going to be more interested in looking at the plots in the undeformed state. And of course, you can also plot it like this. You can say result, field output. You want a contour plot of S11, and that will be applied, and S22, and you can press apply, and once again, you're looking at those contour plots. And you can also look at a contour plot of S12, which is the shear stress. And of course, you can go in and select other things from here. Like you can pick the minimum principal stress, or you can pick the maximum principal stress and just make a contour plot of the same, and so on. Right, that's the maximum principal stress. Right. Now, we can also look at there are different ways to make these same plots, but essentially you're just plotting the results from your analysis. So for example, you could go ahead and plot the strains from here. You can plot the strain component, same E11. You can plot E11, E22, and you're looking at the strains associated with those stresses. You can plot E12, which is the shear strain, and you're looking at that right over there as a contour plot. But really, you wanted to drill down and look at one particular element, then there are different ways to go about doing this. For example, you can use the tool where you can create a display group that consists of just that element. So you can say, I want you to show me just the element that I'm going to pick out from the viewport. And so you can say, I'm going to pick this element, and that's it, done. And you'll say replace all the elements with this one element that I selected, and now you are just looking at the results in that one element that you picked. And you can pick that element and you can look at its S11, you can look at its S22, and you can also look at its S12. But it's plotting all these contours through it, so I don't know which number to use, in which case you can use this probe tool. And you can say, I want to probe the values. And it takes a little while for it to come up. Since it's accessing the database, I'm doing this file from home. It's accessing the database back from the school. So it takes a little while for this probe values tool to open up. But essentially, you'll be able to probe the value for that particular element. And while it is doing that, let's, I guess I can't do anything else while it's doing that. Let's wait for this probe values tool to come on. Takes forever. There we go. And now I can pick from, it's telling me that I can pick the results. I can select from the viewport. I can probe an element. I can look for a particular component. I can look for direct components. I can look at all principal components, or I can look at the selected components. If I select all direct, it will show me the values of all stresses, S11, S22, S12. If I select all principals, then it will show me all the principal stresses, and it will show me those at the integration point, which is where I want to look at them. So all it wants me to do is now pick an element, and I've said I'm going to select it from the viewport. So here we go. I select that particular element, and it's telling me that's element number 12. That's the element type. That's the maximum in-plane principal stress. That's the maximum in-plane, and then that's the minimum in-plane principal stress, and so on. It's giving me all the values that I wanted. I could switch over to all direct, and it's showing me now the values of S11, S22, and it's showing me the value of S12, and so on for that particular element. Right? And I can also make it show me the selected value of S12 in this case, which is 6.23 or whatever it is calculating. Correct. So that's how I can probe an individual value. And of course, I can also look at the vector plot of the individual. Now this is really nice. It's showing me all the direct components. It's telling me that's the value of S11, that's the value of S22. And if I want, I can make it plot the maximum principal, where it's showing me the value of the maximum principal stress. I can ask it to show me the minimum principal stress, and I can ask it to plot all principal components like that. Come on. And it shows me both the principal stresses in that one particular element. So there are different ways in which I can go about and get the answers that I want. I can also write a report. So the queries that I have done, the values that I have probed and so on, I can write them down, or I can write them down in a output file and look at them